Hey everyone, it's Tracy Martirana here from Holistic Wellness with Tracy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about 12 simple, healthy habits. Living a healthy, happy, and balanced life does not have to be difficult, but it does require a little bit of focus and some tweaks to some of our daily habits. We've all made New Year's resolutions of these big, grand changes we want to make, and then we almost always fail because any habit change expert will tell you that habits evolve slowly. So the best way to change your habits is not the big, grandiose changes. It's small, baby steps. Now I'm going to talk about 12 simple, healthy habits. The idea here is not that you're going to jump in and start doing all 12 today. You're going to take it slow. And even with each individual habit, you're not going to jump in and do it perfectly. You're going to take baby steps. So decide which habits sound like they'll have the biggest impact on your life and start there and start slow. And then eventually, by the time you're done with, like a month, 2 months, a little bit of time, you'll start to notice that you are living a healthier lifestyle and you are feeling better. So let's get started. The first habit I want to talk about is getting enough sleep. We live in a society where we seem to, somehow it's like a badge of honor to say like, oh, I'm so busy. I was up so late. I only got so many hours of sleep. I had to get up early, whatever it is. But sleep is so important that really this is like one of the top things you should be worrying about. Even before you worry about how much water you're drinking or what you're eating, think about how much sleep you're getting. Because when you're sleeping, that's when your body does all the magic of getting rid of the things you don't need, of cleansing itself, of healing itself, of resting, obviously. So I want you to think about how many hours of sleep you get. Now, we've all heard 8 hours. That's like the shining star, right? That's our goal. But that's not really true. For some people, 7 hours is all they need. They function great and feel rested. Some people need 9+ before they feel rested. So the trick is, for one, is to figure out what amount of sleep do you need. And then once you figure that out, make that a priority. So if right now you're often not getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep, you need to slowly think about bringing your bedtime back. So if you normally go to bed at 11:30, maybe this week, make sure you're in bed, ready to go to sleep by 11:15. Do that for several days until that feels comfortable, and then move it to 11 and 10:45 and whatever it takes to get so that you're getting a decent amount of sleep. Now, if you get up super early because of your job, guess what? That means most nights you really need to prioritize getting to bed early. And I know I've talked to friends who are like, I'm an adult. I can stay up as late as I want. Yes, you can, but it's not good for you. Parent yourself, set your bedtime, and get to bed. Number 2 is to stretch every day. It doesn't have to be a full yoga session, just a few stretches in the morning and then maybe throughout the day. I cannot emphasize enough how being limber and being able to reach down and touch your toes without groaning or twist to reach something behind you, how that makes you feel young. And when you can't do those things, you feel old. So make it a priority. Look up, just Google search, look up a few easy stretches that you can do throughout the day. Do them every day, little here and there. It only takes 30 seconds to do a stretch. Do one every hour throughout the day, and you'll notice a difference. Number 3 is not going to be a surprise to anybody, and that is to eat more veggies. I would say yes, and fruit, but typically veggies are where we need to focus. Fruit is usually pretty easy for people. The easiest way to do this is simply to make sure that at every meal you have at least 1 serving of vegetables, maybe even 2, maybe even 3. If you want to make 3 a thing, do a big salad and just load it full of all kinds of veggies, and you can easily get 3 servings of veggies. Or make a big batch of a very veggie soup and make that part of every lunch. Have veggies with breakfast. People sort of scoff at that, but making maybe like a veggie scramble, so eggs and a bunch of veggies, or even sometimes I will just make a big salad and put a fried egg on top. You can get veggies into every meal, and then maybe even include some in a snack. That's a simple way. Munch on some raw veggies in the afternoon. It doesn't take a lot, just a couple little tweaks throughout your day. Add a veggie here, add a veggie there. Sooner or later, you'll be getting all the veggies that you need. Number 4, I debated on what to call this one. My first was going to be daily movement, but then I decided to just go for walk every day. Whatever it means to you. If you don't like walking and you want to go to the gym and get on an elliptical, that's fine. But I feel like most of us don't want to go to the gym. And well, at least, all right, I'll speak for me. I hate going to the gym. Absolutely hate it. I hate being on a treadmill. I hate the elliptical. I find it mind-numbing. Even if I'm trying to read a book or watch TV or listen to music, it doesn't matter. I hate it. I hate it. So walking can potentially kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You get the exercise, you get the movement every day. And if you're able to do it outside, then you get some fresh air, maybe even a little bit of sunshine. You get to be out in nature. So if you can do it outside, more the better. But if you can't, just, I don't know, when you go to the grocery store, walk around the grocery store. Try to get out to do a quick walk around the block, or even your parking lot at work if that's what it takes. Try to get out. The goal is 20 or 30 minutes of walking a day. Again, that's not where you start. If you're not walking every day, just go out for 10 minutes, even 5. Maybe do it twice a day. Eventually, you want to get to 20, 30 minutes every day. And it's not that difficult, but start slow. Start slow. Number 5 is to practice gratitude. We've all heard just the amazing things of being grateful, having gratitude. It changes your mindset, it changes your attitude, it decreases stress. It's just overall good for you. Now, you can do something very concrete, like a gratitude journal, where every day, at the end of the day, you write down 3 things that happened that day that were good, that you were grateful for, or people or things or whatever might be going on. But you can also do something much less concrete, less tangible, is just waking up in the morning thinking about 3 things that you're grateful for before you even get out of bed. This might be like, I'm grateful for this comfortable bed, or my good night's sleep, or the person who's sleeping next to me, or the fact that I woke up this morning. Or you can do it right before you go to bed, which is sometimes easier. Lay down, close your eyes before you drift off. Think of the 3 things that you would have written down in a gratitude journal if you were writing, but you're not, you're just thinking them. Or do it throughout the day. Maybe at lunchtime, you need a break from the stress of work. Sit, have something to eat, and just think to yourself, what am I grateful for? What am I grateful for today? And if you want to add a nice little extra to that, think to yourself, I'm grateful for this, and then think how you had a hand in bringing that into your life. Just adds a little extra something, a little self-appreciation for what you do. Number 6, I've done videos on this, is to declutter. Now, you're going to be like, what? How does that really affect my wellness? Well, it does. Clutter causes stress. It causes aggravation. Just think about when you go to open your utensil drawer and you're fighting because of all the extra utensils that are stuck and you can't get the drawer open, or you need a battery and you're pretty sure this battery is in the junk drawer, but there's so much stuff in there you can't find it. Or you go to get dressed in the morning and your closet is so jammed full that you can't even find what you're looking for. It causes aggravation. So don't just think to yourself, oh, I'm going to organize my stuff. No, we're not talking organization here. Get rid of stuff. Whether you throw it away or donate it or give it to a friend, get rid of your clutter. And again, you don't have to start big. Don't start with the whole house. Don't start with a whole room. Start with a drawer. Start with a closet. Start with something, some area that drives you nuts, that's the best place to start. Number 7 is to weight train. And again, if you are not a gym person, you do not need to go to the gym to start this. We're just talking resistance training. We're trying to strengthen our muscles, tone the muscles. Again, we're not turning into gym rats here. You can start without anything. You can start just doing some toe lifts, some squats. You can do push-ups. You can do all kinds of things with just your body weight or just picking up a heavy item in your home. And then once you get going and you start feeling good and you got that down, then maybe pick up a set of dumbbells. That way you can add weight to your squats. You can do some bicep curls with dumbbells. You can do some overhead presses. Google weight training using body resistance. You'll get all kinds of ideas. Google is your friend. Number 8 is to hydrate. I didn't even plan that to rhyme. But I see so many people who overthink hydration so much. People who keep track of it in their journals. And I don't know, I feel like really waste too much just brain power on it. It doesn't have to be difficult. You can put in place just a few key, quick, easy habits to make sure you drink enough water. And it's easy. You don't have to think too hard. A couple things to do is just to automate it. So what I do when I go to bed at night, I take a big, a pint of water with me to bed. I might take a little sip of it during the night if I get up and I'm a little thirsty, but just a little sip. And then in the morning, when I get up, before I even leave my bedroom, the first thing I do is I guzzle that down. Now, yeah, it takes a couple minutes. The first time you might not want to start with a pint. Maybe just start with 1 serving of water, work your way up to a pint. I know some people who do a quart, which is a lot of water to start your day. But for one thing, it hydrates you after all night, 8 hours plus without drinking water. But it also helps flush your digestive system, so it gets things moving so that you can take your morning constitutional. But it's a great way to start your day with water. So you've drank 2 servings of water before you've even left your bedroom. Wonderful. Then if you drink coffee, if you have to have caffeine, drink 1 cup of coffee and then switch to decaf or to herbal teas. The decaf and the herbal tea, they count as water. So they're hydrating. Another trick that I do quite often is I take a big 20-ounce water bottle, fill it in the morning, and my goal would be to drink it by lunchtime. And then maybe have a little bit of water with my lunch, another serving of water, fill that 20-ounce water bottle again, and finish it before dinner. If you start counting that up, drink something with your meals, plus the morning water, plus the water bottles, plus eating maybe a soup or something that's pretty liquidy, right there you've probably already hit your daily servings of water. Which I should mention, we always think, just like the 8 hours of sleep, we always think 8 glasses of water, and that is a great goal. But again, it's not perfect for everybody. Some people need a little less, some people need more. If you're very active or you sweat a lot, you probably need more. The key is to just look at your urine. When you go to the bathroom, look down. If it looks like you just dumped some light lemonade into the toilet, you're probably doing good. If it looks like you dumped bourbon in the toilet, you need more water. Number 9, I'm calling clean up your plate. And by this, I do not mean eat everything that's put on your plate. I mean clean up what you're putting on your plate. So I'm inviting you here to switch out some of the processed foods or omit them altogether. Don't be going out for fast food. That's not good. If you're buying a lot of pre-packaged side dishes, maybe think about making your own. So instead of buying a box of flavored rice, maybe step 1 might be to switch to an organic box of flavored rice. Step 2 might be to buy rice and some vegetables and spices and make your own. Things like that. Start cleaning up when it comes to your protein. Instead of fatty, processed, sausages or ham or things like that, think about leaner, fresher, non-processed cuts of meat, like chicken or fish or steak. I'm not saying red meat's bad, but something that hasn't been processed. Even buying sometimes like the pre-marinated meats, sometimes they're not using the best stuff in those marinades. So buy the meat, marinate it yourself, and that's how you clean up your plate. Number 10, I'm calling learn something new, but it doesn't really have to be learning something new, but just spending some time sort of, I don't want to say engaging your brain. I do like the idea of learning something new because I feel like I am a lifetime learner. Like I enjoy learning new things. I want to read a book about something I don't know anything about, or take a class or learn how to do something. But it can also be just activating your mind, whether it's doing puzzles or something along those lines, or well, even just reading anything, even if it's fantasy. It doesn't have to be learning, like it doesn't have to be a nonfiction book. Your brain is thinking and doing something. You're engaging your brain if you're reading anything. Or it could even be just spending some time doing things that you love, like hobbies, whether it's painting or gardening, working on your car, whatever floats your boat, making sure you're engaging your brain and doing something you enjoy. Number 11 is staying connected. We often, as adults, can get busy, and it's very easy to let relationships slide. We lose touch with friends, even family. We don't see cousins or aunts, uncles. We're all busy. Everybody's busy, and it takes effort to stay connected. So whether it's making sure that every Sunday you pick up the phone to call somebody, or whether it's scheduling a lunch date with a friend every month, do something to stay connected. Having a support system, it's important when things go badly, right? When something happens in your life, it's important to have people you can turn to. But it's equally as important to have people that you can celebrate with when things go great. But it's also important to have people that turn to you for help, because it makes us feel good when we can help our friends. And last, but certainly not least, is to meditate. Now, I put this last. Some could argue that it should have been first, because meditation, it actually affects all aspects of life. It affects your body, your mind, your heart, your soul, for many different reasons. It's really because it has so many benefits, right? And it doesn't have to be huge. This is another place where baby steps are key. If you currently don't meditate, and I tell you that you need to meditate 20 minutes a day, and you sit down and try to meditate for 20 minutes, you're probably going to go insane, and you're going to quit and say, are you kidding? I can't meditate. I think too much. And I do find that is often what people say, is they can't meditate because their brains are too busy. But that's exactly why you need to learn to meditate. You're always going to think. So if you think that you're going to sit down to meditate and all your thoughts are just going to quiet down, and you're just going to sit there in a big, vast nothingness, that's not how it works. Your thoughts are going to think, your brain is going to think, whatever. Thoughts are going to happen. And what you need to do is just let them go. So the best way to meditate, especially for beginners, is to just sit and breathe and try to focus on the breath. Watch the breath come in, watch the breath go out. You're going to think thoughts and just like, let that go. I'm not thinking that now. I'm watching my breath. I read somewhere, and I used to actually have it on a sticky note on my desk. It was a definition of like how to meditate, and I can't even think of where it came from. The words were simply breathe, relax, and pay attention. And I was like, yeah, I can do that. Everyone can do that. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you will slowly begin to incorporate these habits into your life. Again, they're very important. Like, they make a huge difference in your life, your health, your happiness. And while instituting all of them at once could be overwhelming, if you start small and take baby steps, before you know it, you'll be living a healthy, happy, and balanced life. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great day.